10 NFL players accused of terrible crimes. From domestic violence to murder and sexual assault, these are 10 NFL players who have made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Michael Vick. Dogfighting. Michael Vick was once considered one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. He had a $100 million contract and was on top of the world. But in 2007, everything changed. He was arrested for running an illegal dogfighting ring called Bad News Kennels at his Virginia home. The case sparked national attention and led to widespread outrage over animal cruelty. Vick was charged with illegal dogfighting, gambling, and brutal executions of dogs. He served 23 months in jail and was suspended by the NFL. However, Vick managed to turn his life around. He resumed his career in 2009, played for the Eagles, Jets, and then the Steelers, and retired in February 2017. He also became a voice against dogfighting and is working to help authorities eliminate it. Ben Roethlisberger. Sexual assault. Ben Roethlisberger, a two-time Super Bowl champion, was known for his hard partying lifestyle. But that lifestyle caught up with him in 2009 and 2010, when he was accused of sexual assault on 2 separate occasions. Despite never being formally charged, he settled a civil lawsuit and was suspended by the NFL for the first 6 matches of the 2010 season. However, he seems to have changed for the better. After marriage and having children, he has tamed his wild ways and become more responsible. Ray Caruth. Conspiracy to commit murder. Ray Caruth, a former wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, committed one of the most shocking crimes on this list. In 2001, he hired someone to carry out an execution-style murder of his girlfriend, who was 8 months pregnant with his child. He refused to terminate the pregnancy, so Caruth put out a hit on her. According to court documents, the hitman fired multiple shots into her car, hitting her 5 times. Nevertheless, she managed to call 911 before she died. Caruth was sentenced to 24 years in prison and will be eligible for parole in 2018. Leonard Little. Vehicular manslaughter. Leonard Little was a star college player drafted as an All-American into the NFL by the St. Louis Rams in 1998. But that same year, he made a terrible mistake. He drove drunk and crashed into another car, killing a mother and 2 children. He received 4 years probation and 1,000 hours of community service. But in 2004, he was arrested for driving drunk again. He received 2 years of probation. Despite his legal troubles, he continued playing for the Rams until his retirement in 2010. Ray Rice. Domestic violence. In 2014, the world was surprised by the videotape of Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice knocking out his fiancée in a casino elevator. He was charged with assault and domestic violence, was quickly cut by the Ravens, and suspended by the NFL. Despite undergoing court-supervised counseling, he was never signed to another NFL team. Alonzo Spellman. Terrorizing passengers on plane, assault, air rage. Alonzo Spellman, a former defensive lineman in the NFL, played for several teams, including the Chicago Bears. However, one incident on the commercial airline in 2002 forever tarnished his reputation. Spellman terrorized passengers on the flight, yelling about the possibility of the plane crashing, and even tried to smash a flight attendant's face with his football cleats in midair. The NFL player's behavior was so disruptive that the aircraft was forced to construct an emergency landing. Spellman was eventually removed from the aircraft by police after being hit with a taser. He was charged with terrorizing passengers, assault, air rage, and even weapons charges. Spellman received a suspended sentence and was ordered to go to counseling, later diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Darrell Russell. Videotaping sexual assault. Before his legal troubles, defensive tackle Darrell Russell had a successful NFL career, playing for teams like the Oakland Raiders and Washington Redskins. However, his drug use resulted in several suspensions from the league. In 2002, during one of these suspensions, Russell was arrested and charged with videotaping the sexual assault of a woman who had been drugged with GHB. The woman reported that Russell had slipped her the drug at a bar, and the videotape was found during a search of his house. The case was dropped because prosecutors believed the jury wouldn't convict the football player. Tragically, Russell died in a car crash in Los Angeles 3 years later. Ray Lewis. Double homicide. Ray Lewis was a two-time Super Bowl champion and former Baltimore Ravens linebacker who nearly lost it all when he was charged with a double homicide. In 2000, after a Super Bowl 34 party in Atlanta, Lewis and his buddies got into a fight with another group, resulting in the stabbing deaths of two individuals. Lewis was arrested and indicted on murder and aggravated assault charges, facing the possibility of the death penalty. However, his lawyers negotiated a plea agreement with the district attorney, which saw the murder charges dismissed in exchange for Lewis testifying against two of his friends. The friends were later acquitted, and no one else had ever been arrested for the murders. As a result, Lewis was able to continue his career and retire as a Hall of Fame-worthy player. Aaron Hernandez, murder. At the peak of his career, playing for the New England Patriots, Aaron Hernandez was arrested and later convicted of murder. He had a $40 million contract with the Patriots and was vital to the team's success. However, Hernandez was found guilty of first-degree murder in the killing of Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player and one-time friend. Hernandez shot Lloyd because he felt disrespected at a club. Lloyd's body was found with multiple gunshot wounds. Hernandez is now serving a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. He was also indicted for the 2012 double homicide of two other men, but that trial is still pending. O.J. Simpson, murder, robbery, kidnapping. From winning the Heisman Trophy to becoming the first NFL player to rush over 2,000 yards a season, O.J. had a successful career on the field. However, in 1994, he was charged with killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ronald Goldman. This case became known as the Trial of the Century. Despite being acquitted in criminal court, Simpson was found responsible in a civil lawsuit. In 2007, Simpson was arrested in Las Vegas and charged with robbery and kidnapping. He was convicted and sentenced to 33 years in prison, with a minimum of 9 years without parole. To this day, he is serving his sentence at the Lovelock Correctional Center in Nevada. It's interesting to note that even while behind bars, Simpson still finds ways to make money. He reportedly signs football memorabilia inside his jail cell and sells it for extra cash. These are just a few NFL players who have made headlines for all the sinful reasons. While some of them face the consequences of their actions, others manage to escape justice. Regardless, their stories remind them of human fallibility and the consequences of their actions.